Welcome to Animeconomy. In every great story, the hero's journey starts with this noble quest, right? To defeat some great evil, to end suffering, to build a better world. But what if the path to that perfect world, the one that's paved with the absolute best intentions, was actually a trap? What if the hero, in their quest to build a utopia, was really just walking the road to servitude?
And that's really the core tragedy we're exploring today. See, in our story, the hero isn't just one person. It's an entire society. A society that, like a lot of us, looks at all the struggles in the world and just dreams of a perfect future, a utopia where all the pain and uncertainty is just gone. This is where our journey begins.
The call to adventure, it's always so tempting, isn't it? And the promise of this utopia is maybe the greatest call of all. I mean, just imagine a world where the chaos of the market is finally tamed, where nobody has to worry about poverty or failure. To make this happen, the planners in our story make this grand promise of a new freedom. It's not the old freedom, the freedom of choice with all its messy risks and responsibilities. No, this is freedom from economic worries. The idea is to replace our individual drive for success, what economists call the pecuniary motive, basically the desire for money, with these higher, non-economic incentives. The goal isn't personal wealth anymore, it's the well-being of the group. It sounds like heaven on earth, but every promise has its price.
So what's the hidden cost of this perfect plan? Well, to consciously direct an entire society, to get millions of people to follow a single blueprint, you need power, a whole lot of centralized power.
And this slide just brilliantly lays out the trade-off. Think about it. In a free market, power is spread out. Your boss, even if they're super wealthy, only has so much control over you. You can quit. You can go find another job. But what happens when the state becomes the only employer, the only planner for the whole economy? Well, that power becomes absolute.
In a system like that, your own plans for your life, they become impossible. Where you work, what you earn, what you're allowed to buy, all of it is decided by the central plan. The state's promise to free you from hardship is kept by taking away your economic choices. You end up completely dependent on the planners. A kind of dependence that the book warns is, and I quote, scarcely distinguishable from slavery.
And right here, our hero's journey takes a really dark and dramatic turn, because those noble, well-meaning planners who started this whole quest, they aren't the ones who are going to finish it. A system of total power creates this vacuum, and it's inevitably going to be filled by the people who are most willing to use that power.
What's so fascinating here is how it lays out this predictable path to tyranny. I mean, think about it. To get massive support, leaders appeal to simple instincts, not complicated ideas. It's way easier to get people united in hating a common enemy than in loving a shared ideal. And finally, when the good of the whole is the only thing that matters, literally any action can be justified. The system doesn't reward the kind-hearted, it rewards the ruthless.
Just let that sink in for a moment. The system itself actually selects for cruelty. If you're finding this insight as powerful as I do, maybe consider liking this explainer and sharing it with someone who might also find it thought-provoking.
So now we've hit the climax of our hero's journey. The promised utopia? It's been built, but our hero is realizing they're not in a paradise. They're trapped inside a prison where the very foundations of freedom, law, and truth have been systematically torn down.
You can think of the rule of law as the solid ground underneath your feet. It means the rules are fixed, you know them ahead of time, and they apply to everyone, even the government. But a central plan can't be tied down by fixed rules. It needs constant, arbitrary changes to work. So the law just becomes whatever the state says it is today. And without the rule of law, there's no freedom. There's only power.
And here's the crucial point. To keep total control, the state has to control reality itself. Propaganda makes sure everyone believes in the plan. Dissent isn't just disagreement anymore, it's treason. Even words get twisted. Freedom now means the state's power, not your own liberty. In the end, truth isn't what's real anymore. It's just whatever serves the official story.
After the storm of that climax, our hero is left with a choice. Is this it? Is servitude the only path? Well, Hayek says no. There is another way. There's an alternative vision for a society that can be both humane and free.
And right here, the book makes a really critical distinction. There's one kind of security that's totally fine with freedom, a basic safety net for everyone, to protect against real disaster. But then there's this other, dangerous kind of security, protecting a specific group's job or income from competition. This kind of protectionism, the book argues, doesn't create security for everybody. It just makes society rigid and actually increases insecurity for everyone outside that protected little group.
So the alternative isn't some heartless, sink-or-swim world. Not at all. It's a world that doesn't try to get rid of risk, but instead creates the conditions for individuals to actually flourish. Progress isn't some blueprint handed down from on high. It's the unpredictable, explosive result of millions of free people chasing their own dreams and taking responsibility for their own lives.
This powerful idea really brings the whole journey back to us. Because this isn't just a story about society out there. It's a story about the fundamental choices that we all have to face every single day.
Because freedom isn't free. It's not a gift that the state hands you. It's not safety, and it's not comfort. It's the courage to face uncertainty, the willingness to accept risk, and the responsibility to forge your own path. The road to serfdom is this timeless warning. It's a call for us to remember that real progress is born not from some central plan, but from the untamable spirit of the individual. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to Animeconomy, and you can find the link to the book in the description.